Welcome. My name is Stoan Stewart and I'm a senior at the Poole College of Management at North Carolina State University. As a senior, I've been applying and trying to get a job out of college. During this process, it can be very stressful, especially at the beginning when you don't know that much about interviews. I know I was stressed out and I didn't know much about the interview process. However, throughout the interview process, you get more comfortable and you realize what's happening. These are just some tips that'll help you become a better interviewer. First, before the interview, you need to make sure you do your research on the company. This is a crucial mistake that many interviewees do not do. Nothing looks more unappealing than a person who is being interviewed that doesn't know enough about the company. Being dressed appropriately for the interview is just as important as being prepared for the interview. For men, a simple colored shirt and tie with a jacket, slacks, and dress shoes will suffice. Yeah, that's better. For women, a simple pantsuit or a blouse with a skirt or dress with dress shoes will do the trick. Do not apply an excessive amount of cologne or perfume before the interview. You don't want to leave an impression for all the wrong reasons. During the interview, be sure to be calm and confident about your answers. When a question is asked to you, make sure to always tie it back to real-world experiences that you've had. For example, in high school, I worked at Chuck E. Cheese. Throughout my time there, I dealt with money, I performed on a team, I worked well under pressure during high-stress situations, and I've also dealt with both happy and unhappy customers. These are only a few examples that you can pull out of any work experience to make yourself more marketable. However, make sure you do tie them to specific situations and events that they can relate to really make a long-lasting impression. You need to remember that the interviewer isn't just evaluating you on what you say, but also what you do. When you're answering questions, make sure you don't fidget or do any distracting motions, because you want the interviewer to be evaluating you off what you say to the questions and not your distracting hand gestures. You need to make sure throughout the entire interview process you are using professional language. Do not use slang. This cannot be emphasized enough. After all, you are applying for a job. Keep in mind that you are selling yourself during the interview. You need to make a strong connection with your interviewer and don't be afraid to be yourself. Personality goes a long way. You can have the highest GPA and be the most qualified for the job, but if your personality doesn't match up with the company's, they might not hire you. Towards the end of the interview, you may be asked if you have any questions regarding the position. Don't be afraid to ask questions. This is very important. Yes, the company is interviewing you for the job, but you are also interviewing the company to see if it's a right fit for you. At the end of the interview, be sure to thank them and ask for their business card or contact information. About 2 days later, you should send your interviewers a handwritten note or at least an email. This is very important because it's not only just your interviewer, this is also a business connection that you've made and can use and utilize later on. If you're still feeling uncomfortable about the entire interview process, it's a good idea to practice. Remember, practice makes perfect. Grab a friend or a buddy to help you out. Have him ask you questions and go through the whole routine like you normally would, being professionally dressed and being prepared, just another time to give you more practice. I hope the tips in this video were helpful and will help guide you towards a successful interview. It does seem daunting at first, but you are qualified. You have to remember that you have the interview for a reason. Now you just need to be yourself, be calm, and be confident, and you will succeed in getting in a job interview.